Hey cool you all, and cats, kittens. Now, I'm not a huge documentary watcher, but when I started watching Tiger King, I watched the whole thing in one day without blinking an eye. And that's because I blink with both eyes, as most normal people do. And what I found was that when you blink your eyes are then coated with tears and other stuff which make them feel good. So I recommend that you blink more and moist your eyes. Thank you for attending my TED Talk, but we've gone off topic. We were talking about Tiger King. It's about this interesting individual, Joseph Maldonado Passage, or Joe Exotic, former owner of the Greater Wynwood Exotic Animal Park in Wynwood, Oklahoma, who in his free time shoots guns, blows things up, hosts an internet show, records music videos, and is the main focus of this wild show. And if you blink, you will see that Joe has now turned into Carol Baskin, his mortal enemy, who has tigers of her own in a place called Big Cat Rescue. It's a place for animal sanctuary and small cages because claustrophobia is comfortable. Throughout the show, they kind of go back and forth, trading blows to put each other out of business as other people get involved and chime in on their own experiences with one another.
The big cat people? Or big cat people?
People like tiger enthusiasts, tiger smugglers, tiger victims, reporters, polygamists, drug lords, drug users, and even the FBI. It's a show for the whole family. A show that shows one big power struggle and who can wear the most leopard print. But enough about that. I have some questions for you. What has a misleading title? Tiger King is not about tigers. Or kings. There are king outfits and thrones and stuff, but no actual registered, licensed kings. Because this is America. So no, Tiger King is actually about people and their lives and relationships within an eat or be eaten industry, metaphysically and sometimes literally. Thank you for attending my second TED Talk. Man, I'm on a roll. What is dangerous? Tiger King has a lot of cuddling with ferocious animals that could eat you, maul you like Leo, or rip your arms off. No joke, they will rip your arm off like it's theirs. But does that stop Joe Exotic? No, sir. What actually happened? Tiger King was real. Was it exaggerated? No. Yes, what isn't stopping here? Tiger King will live on through a new series that's still in the making. Perhaps you've heard about some of the casting decisions already. It's going to be Nicolas Cage as Joe Exotic and Kate McKinnon as Carol Baskin. This is wonderful news. Would you like a sneak peek at that series? Okay, perfect timing, because Raven is having a vision about it as we speak. Wait, wrong vision. That's someone hitting the like button. Wait, let's see who it is. Would you look at that? It's you. Did you know you're a vampire? Okay, here we go. The real vision.
I've had 2 boyfriends most of my life, got legally married. Thank God, it's finally legal in America.
No idea what you said.
I have tried drugs through the younger years of my life. I'm broke as shit.
What?
I'm broke as shit.
Ben?
You know, if somebody wanted to kill you, then they would put, like, sardine oil all over you. We had a meat grinder. I ran him through that grinder and ran his hands through the grinder.
I can dig it. Why might Mullets be back in style? Tiger King's main character stands out. Everything from his looks to his personality to his hobbies stands out. But let's focus on his least outrageous characteristic, his looks. First, let's talk about his watch. Oh, he blew it up. First, let's talk about his hair.
Oh my God, that guy has a mullet.
Yes, he does. It's blonde with a hint of brown and it's made of hair. And I know you're wondering, what hair products does he use? Well, I'm about 9% sure he has his own brand. Let me show you what it probably looks like, okay? So first, it's gotta have his name. There's no debating that. He would not sell it if it didn't have his name. That's just a fact. Next, it's gotta get the name of the product. Something simple, yet sophisticated. Looks pretty good so far, but it's no Joe Exotic product unless we add some tiger print and weird tribal-ish designs, sparkles, and most importantly, a cowboy hat. Then, we gotta get some enticing benefits on there, and lastly, an irresistible slogan. If you have a mullet, you are 10 out of 10 copying this, hands down. Now raise your hands if you want to smell like Joe Exotic. Okay, you need to stop lying. Also, you might have noticed his mustache, which is trimmed in the style of a horseshoe, because it looks like a horse's shoe. If you look closely, you'll see how that happens. See? With that style of facial hair, he's taking influence from some of mankind's most important figures, and here are just a few from that list. Hulk Hogan, Michael Cudlitz as Abraham from The Walking Dead, Ben Stiller as White Goodman from Dodgeball, and none other than John Travolta. Truly an exceptional list of men. I did also look up women with horseshoe mustaches, but as you can imagine, that list is quite small. However, I did find this picture of a woman holding a horseshoe, and that's good enough for me. Second, let's talk about his shirts, especially these kind. I don't know what style these are called, but it's kind of like Dave Bautista had a baby with a button-up shirt, like
boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
And occasionally a fairy is thrown in for the glitter and sparkles and... Wait, where did Bautista go? Oh, there he is. He's just so incredibly still.
So incredibly still.
What sounds pretty good. Tiger King has some quality hits, quality lyrics.
A million miles later,
that's a long drive.
still stranded in the past.
And he's a time traveler. One thing you might have noticed watching Tiger King is that Joe Exotic here
I could grow a garden.
sounds a little bit different than Joe Exotic here.
I'm doing illegal drugs.
Just a tad bit different. And that's because most of Exotic's songs weren't even written or performed by Exotic. The actual people behind these tracks were two guys named Vince Johnson and Dan Clinton of the Clinton Johnson Band. That was really the band name. And they responded to an ad for making music for Joe's live show and had no idea he would lip sync to them in his music videos. They were surprised, distraught, hurt even, but I think they could be happy about one thing. Joe can do a mean lip sync. Could you imagine if he had a TikTok?
Carol Baskin killed her husband.
Never mind. Let's not imagine that. What is a rom doc? Tiger King is full of relationships. You've heard of romantic comedies. Well, this show is a romantic documentary, a rom doc. Here's one of the relationships on Tiger King, the Baskins. They're a couple that has a lot of fun. You can tell they're having fun by just looking at their faces. Carol's having fun. Howard's having fun. Carol's having fun. And Howard, well, he's having a blast. But before Howard, there was Don Lewis, who is no longer in the picture due to unknown reasons that no one knows, because they're unknown. Some say Carol put him through a meat grinder. Some say he could be living in Costa Rica under a different identity. For all we know, he could be continuing his tradition of roaming the streets at night in search of women to drag around. That's how he met Carol. And if you overlook how creepy that is, it's actually still kind of creepy. There's also Joe and his two husbands, and man have they been through a lot together. They raised tigers together, criticized Carol Baskin together, and got sued together. Love really does triumph all. None of them are together anymore, but Joe has a new boyfriend, so the love lives on. It also lives on in Doc Antle and his merry band of cult wives, Jeff Lowe and his wife, and sometimes others for the gram, this guy and his lemur, this guy and his monkey. These boy tigers because they don't discriminate there.
We do not discriminate here.
Do you smell that? Because I smell love. Wait. No, that's just tiger poop. What is educational? Tiger King taught me a lot of things. At first, Tiger King was a show about running a tiger zoo. Well, yes, but actually no. It was much more than that. It was a train wreck you can't help but look at that doesn't stop after hitting one car. As soon as it hits the first one, it just keeps hitting more, and with each one, you learn something new. For example, how to run for president.
I'm outspoken, good looking, love to party and have fun. Hello.
How to safely handle a gun. How to give a funeral speech.
Rubbing balls in my face. They were like golden nuggets to that boy.
How to remain calm and collected in times of stress.
Stop, you son of a...
And how to look cool while riding a jet ski. Oh yeah, the definition of cool. I just hope he doesn't forget to subtly thumbs up at the camera and look away at the sunset. Attaboy. How to plan an assassination and follow through on it without going to jail.
The so-called Tiger King.
He is on trial, accused in a murder-for-hire plot.
Okay, maybe I didn't learn how to do those things, but I did learn how not to do those things, so these still count. What has a lot of bad guys? Tiger King has a lot of twists. Every time a character is introduced, you never know if they're a good guy or a bad guy, and whose side you should be on. But then at some point for most of the first 15 minutes, you're just like, I can no longer pick a side, I'm staying out of this. I'm just here to watch a show. Initially, they set up Joe Exotic to be the bad guy. He has the exotic animals, makes money from breeding them, and keeps them in captivity at his zoo. On top of that, he's shown to be this crazy redneck with guns who makes all kinds of threats to anyone that defies his operation. Enter stage right, and we have Carol Baskin, who we now think is going to save the day and get this lunatic arrested and have his zoo shut down. But wait, did you think Carol was the good guy? Well, you're wrong. At this point watching the show, I was quite flabbergasted, confused, Yet intrigued, and wanting to hear all of Joe Exotic's albums, I was also hooked. I started asking all kinds of questions. What actually happened to Carol's husband? Who's putting who in jail? And where are this man's legs? Enter stage left, Doc Antle, Jeff Lowe, Mario Tabrau, and James Garrison, who all seem to be on Joe's side, who is a good, bad guy. And they're all into their own shady side stuff. Cultish, cub smuggling, drug smuggling, lemur feeding side stuff. There's no black and white in the show, but there is a lot of gray. What might get Joe Exotic pardoned? Tiger King made its way to a press conference. Not just any press conference, but President Donald Trump's press conference. And in that conference, one bold reporter commented on Donald Trump's son, Don, jokingly advocating for the pardon of Joe Exotic. He thinks it would be amazing.
It would be pretty amazing.
And at least it would be. For the memes.
Just for the memes.
And with 4 words, there was a glimmer of hope for one fancy, mulleted man.
I'll take a look.
And that's how the answer is Tiger King.
I'll take a look.
Because they burned up 7 of my crocodilians.
How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned?
Put it in the right file, according to alphabetical order. A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Okay, I don't know if I can dig that.